Good afternoon. I'm Steve Laska, President and Chief Investment Officer at VisionQuest Wealth Management. Today, our clients received an email with quarterly investment commentary. This commentary is written by Randall Griggs, Senior Vice President, on behalf of the investment committee here at VisionQuest. Here are the highlights. The Federal Reserve continued to be accommodating with how they handled quantitative easing. Obviously, we've seen oil prices decline greatly, which in the short term can have a really positive effect on travel and consumer spending. And we saw what's called the Santa Claus rally. The broad market, the S&P 500 did about 5% for the quarter. And even small caps rebounded, which have been struggled for a lot of the year. They were up 10% in the last quarter. Developed international markets continued to lag. The European markets continued to lag a little bit. And emerging markets are starting to show strength again. Getting back to the energy sector, we're starting to hear a lot of feedback from our clients when it comes to things like the price of oil. And as the commentary was written, you'll see that oil was about $60 a barrel, and it's much lower than that today. Targets for most of those are about $100 for Brent crude and $90 for West Texas Intermediate, which are more germane to us here in the United States. And while these things have continued to struggle, it seems like it's more of a political fight than a fundamental reason for these things happening. So we see a lot of opportunities in that sector. Many of the prognosticators over the last year, in fact 2 years, keep predicting the end of the market. In fact, I've gotten on here at times and said, when is it going to happen? In reality, we always believe, particularly for our investors that are long-term, that it's easy to weather the storm because in general, we're still very, very bullish on the markets. In fact, next week, you'll see a piece out by Steve Peters, our CEO, that is an economic forecast. And even these blips on the radar on things like oil and energy, we think are very short-term. That being said, we're prepared going into next year. Our portfolios are already constructed very well, and chances are we'll come out and talk to a lot of you who are concerned about short-term volatility as you're getting closer to a big purchase or closer to retirement. And we'll, again, expose some things in private debt that will allow us to lock in some dividends that strengthen the portfolio in the short term. Long term, again, we continue to remain bullish about all of the markets. In fact, the international markets typically trail the U.S. market, so there might be some very, very good opportunities for those going into 2015. Next week, of course, we'll be having our live question and answer session via video where we can answer any questions that you may have. In the interim, reach out to your service director or me directly. We always are here to serve our clients. Thank you.